The Apostle Paul was one of the greatest Christians who ever lived. A complete turnaround from his previous life. Paul led thousands and thousands of people to Jesus, and he even wrote 13 books of the Bible. Yet, Paul wrote these words. Paul said, "For what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. Wretched man that I am, but thanks be to God who delivers me through Jesus Christ our Lord." Some years ago, I was preaching at the nursing home, and a guy in the back started yelling and screaming at a person next to him. And when I told him to settle down, he told me that he was completely justified in screaming at that person. In fact, he said his therapist said for him to let it out. And he was completely justified in yelling and screaming at this other man. I want you to contrast those two responses to sin. Paul admitted his guilt, accepted God's conviction, and sought forgiveness and sought change, while this other guy only sought to justify his actions. You see, each of us has been given free will, and sometimes we use that free will to do what is wrong. The question is, what happens then? Do we, like Paul, accept God's conviction and seek change and forgiveness? Or are we like that man who justifies their actions? And that justification is going to lead us further and further away from God. You know, I believe that God will allow us to use our free will to go so far away from Him that we will no longer be convicted when we do the wrong thing. And when that happens, we become completely enslaved by that sin. Obvious examples of this are things like anger and pornography and pride and hate and gossip and lying and stealing and being judgmental, etc., etc., etc. Well, here's your assignment. I want you to answer the question, how do you deal with your sin? Do you accept your guilt, or do you justify your actions? Well, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Aloha, see you there, and please remember, Jesus is in the change and in the forgiveness business. God bless.